Hello everybody, welcome to GIS Pathshala, grade 8. Today we are going to do one chapter in social and political life. Social and political life. Our chapter is why do we need a parliament? Why do we need a parliament? See, you have seen the picture of the parliament also. Now, India, the largest democratic country. See, India is the largest democratic country, and to handle the things, to administrate this vast country is not a easy task. See, this is the parliament. We in India pride ourselves on being a democracy. Here we will try and understand the relation between the ideas and participation in decision making and the need for all democratic government to have the consent of their citizens. See, in democratic, people is taking active part. People is also taking active part, but how? All the people at a time can't run. So how they are they taking the active participation in the administration? This we are going to see. In this, it is these elements that together make us democracy, and this is best expressed in the institution of the parliament. In this chapter we will try to see how parliament enables citizens of India to participate in decision making. See how parliament enables citizen of India, how Indian citizens through parliament takes part in the decision making and control the government, thus making it the most important symbol of Indian democracy and the key features of the constitution. So, like parliament is the important symbol of the Indian democracy and the key feature of the constitution. See, why should people decide? See, why people should decide? Why here in India democracy is there? It is not a dictatorship. So whatever the king is saying, whatever the monarch is saying, all has to follow, all have to follow. But why we think that people should participate? India, as we know, become independent on 15th August 1947. Preceding this way a long and difficult struggle in which many sections of the society participate. People from various backgrounds joined the struggle and they were inspired by the ideas of freedom, equality, and participation in decision making. See, from different caste, different religion, different background, all people joined for the freedom struggle. All people join in the movement of freedom struggle. And the people inspired by the ideas of freedom, equality, and participation. They thought that taking active part, we can do something better. Under the colonial rule, the people had lived in fear of the British government and did not agree with many of the decisions that they took. The British government and make demands took the British government and make demands. But they face grave danger if they tried to criticize these decisions. Means in when the colonial rule was, they'll all have to follow maximum have to follow the rule what British government was saying. Otherwise, there might be something critical, or they have to feel, if they have to follow the decision of the government, British government. The freedom movement changed this situation. Now the freedom movement changed this situation. The nationalists began to openly criticize the British government and make demands. See, now nationalists openly criticize British government and they demanded that we should take part. This is our country. In our country, some of the things we need according to our wish. As far back as 1885, since 1885, nationalists were trying for this. The Indian National Congress demanded that there be elected members in the legislature with right to discuss the budget and ask question. See, in legislature, there should be the elected member and they should discuss, they should ask question, they should do the debate, they should argue. The Government of India Act 1909 allowed the same elected representation, and in Government of India Act 1909 allowed the elected representation, means elected people of India can represent in the assembly for the betterment of India. Only we are not depending on whatever the rules and regulation decision taken by the British government. While these early legislature under the British government were in response to the growing demand of the nationalists, They did not allow for all adult to vote, nor could people participate in decision making. See, but now all are not getting the chance to take active participation. The experience of colonial rule as well as the participation of different people in the struggle for the freedom left little doubt in the minds of the nationalists that all person in independent India would be able to participate in decision making. See, at that time they struggle hard, but some of the they got the chance for the some of the representatives. Okay, little bit they got, but after the freedom struggle, doing the freedom struggle, what all think that all the citizen of India would be able to participate in decision making. With the coming of independence, we were going to be citizens of free country. See, why with the coming of the independence, whenever we were get independence, we are the we were going to be a citizen of free country. What this type of thing nationalists then the freedom struggle, those who took part in the freedom struggle, people thought like that. This did not mean that the government could do what it felt like. It meant that the government had to be sensitive to the people's need and demands. See, means what is the meaning of that? That government could not do whatever it like, but government should be sensitive to the people's need and demand. The dreams and aspirations of the freedom struggle were made concert in the Constitution of Independent India that laid down the principle of universal adult franchise. Then we got the universal adult franchise means all the person had the voting right above the age of 18 years, irrespective of caste, family background, education, male, female. Nothing should be counted. Only the person should be an Indian citizen and the age of about the age of 18 have the voting right. People and their representatives. Now, it is the decision of the people that creates a democratic government and decides about the functioning. The basic idea in this kind of democracy is that the individual or citizen is the most important person. See, citizens are the most important person. And that is principle the government as well as other public institutions need to have the trust of the citizen. Now the role of parliament. The Indian Parliament is an expression of the faith that the people of India have in principle of democracy. The Parliament in the Indian system has immense power as it is the representative of the people. See, Parliament is the representative of the people. People's representatives are going there and they are representing the people's demand, need, whatever is there. From the area wise, state wise, the MLAs are going. Now, India has numerous constituencies. Each of these constituencies elect one person to the parliament. Many constituencies are there in India. So, from each constituencies, one person is going. Constituencies means sections are there, parts are there, small states. In the states, districts are there. So, from each constituencies, they elect one person to the parliament. The candidate who contest election usually belong to different political parties. Those who are taking part in election, they are from the different political parties. These candidates become member of parliament or MPs. Once election to the parliament have taken place, the parliament needs to perform the following function: to select the national government, to control, guide and inform the government and lawmaking. See, these are the functions of parliament. To select the national government, to control the guide and inform the government and lawmaking. These things parliament did. See, Parliament of India consists of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha and President. Three are their main are pillars of Parliament: President, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is there. See, there are 543 elected members in Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha, 543 members are there. For political party to form the government, they must have majority of half of the number, that is 272 members elected MPs. A majority party should have at least more. The opposition parliament is formed by all the political parties that oppose the majority party. Conditional format. formed, party or coalition formed, sorry. The largest amongst these parties is called the opposition party. See, one ruling party is there and one opposition party is there. See, the Rajya Sabha functions primarily as the representative of the state of India in the parliament. See, from the state, the representatives are going in the Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha can also initiate legislation. A bill is required to pass through the Rajya Sabha in order to become law. First, a bill is there, all are discussing for one matter, and then afterwards they are thinking, they are discussing, and they are making it is a law. The bill they are passing. In bill, all things are written, and then they are discussing. The members of the Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected members of the Legislative Assembly of various states. There are 233 elected members plus 12 members nominated by President. See, 12 members are nominated by President in Rajya Sabha. See, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Members of Lok Sabha are directly elected by the eligible voters. Members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected member of State Legislative Assembly. The normal life of every Lok Sabha is 5 years. Rajya Sabha is permanent body. It is not subject to dissolution, but 1/3 of its members retire every 2 years. The maximum strength of the House is 552. It has not more than 250 members. Money bill can only be introduced in Lok Sabha. Also, it is the Lok Sabha which grants money for running the administration of the country. The Rajya Sabha does not exercise much power over money bills. The Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha is less powerful than Lok Sabha. Thank you. See, now further we will see all detailed things about Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, how different things are in Parliament in our next video lecture. Thank you.